Hello, this is Jeff, N8RWS, and this morning we're going to see if we can make a recording of our Vk3Amp operating along with the Ts890 in the AM mode. Not sure if we'll find anybody, but I have been testing. The amp is fine. This is a 2-pallet design, and using the MRFX 1K80 devices, 2 of them. Onder did all the machining, basically made it a kit for me, so that once I received the amp, I just had to do the wiring, the coax and the power and stuff like that, the switch. But Onder did everything else. Very, very happy with this amp. And I have tested it on AM, so if we don't round up anybody today, just know that when I run my other transceiver, which is an Anon, talked to my buddy Bob a couple of times now, WB9ECK, in the AM mode, and we were transmitting 8 kc each side of center, so 16 kc total bandwidth. And with a carrier, I tried different carrier levels. With a 250 watt carrier and the fan on right from the get, 250 watt carrier, I could transmit key down solid 6 minutes, modulating 250 up to about 1100, so a little bit over 100% modulation, and my temp got up to 56C, which isn't that bad, but it was still climbing, so it was, you know, it was warming up nicely. I dropped the carrier to like 200 watts, modulating to 800-900. I did an 8 minute key down ramble, again at 16 total kc bandwidth, and it went up to 56, pretty much the same with longer transmission. Now today I'm using the 890. The thing only transmits at, I think, 4 kc each side, so a total of 8 kc. I'm going to run it with a fan and auto, and I'll run a 200 watt carrier, and we'll see if we can't get Bob or somebody to come back and just do a little bit of testing so you can see how well it works. I'm very satisfied. You know, 56, 58C is nothing to worry about. I know the thermal warning comes on at 60C, but my understanding is that's pretty conservative. I have to confirm that with Onder, but you know, I'm not concerned. I don't use AM that much, but I do want an amp that's capable on AM, and as far as I'm concerned, this one is. Yeah, I don't run a 375 watt carrier, you know, but 200, who's going to notice the difference? It's not that big a deal. So let's go ahead and take it out of bypass mode, and let's go ahead and key it up and get that power level. Where am I at? 12 watts right now to feed it. I do have a 10 dB pad in this amp from Onder. Bought all my parts from him. This was a 10 dB pad before it hits the splitter. And of course, go through the splitter, there's some loss. And then there's, I think, a 6 dB pad in each one of the PA boards, power boards. So anyway, 12 watts. Let's see what happens here if we can get us a carrier going. Hey, and there's 180 watts, which is about right. Let's turn it up a little. Oops, 240. 195 right there. So I got a 195 watt carrier. 1, 2, 1, 2, zoobity-doo. It's right about 2. So 800 watts would be 100% modulation, and that's 900. Hello, is anybody out there? WB9ECK, are you around, or W9 FMC? Kevin, you guys around this morning? This here is Jeff, N8RWS, on the Ts890 and the Vk3Amp, just trying to hail somebody for a quick chat here on AM. This is N8RWS.
WB9ECK, I'll copy.
Hey Robert, really good. I was hoping I'd be able to stir somebody up. Yeah, just messing around here with the 890. I did take the cover off of this LDMOS amp yesterday, the Vk3Amp, and I looked for anything that was hot or burned up looking, not expecting to find anything, but after our rambling AM QSOs the other day where I was going on for 8 minutes, I thought, you know, I ought to look and see if I can really see anything. And there's nothing. I mean, it's just rocking and rolling. But I am on the 890. I'm running a different EQ profile, so I'm curious, you know, how does it sound to you, Bob? WB9ECK, this is N8RWS.
Oh, it sounds fine. It sounds really good. The band is just so crappy. You know, you're about an S2, S3 in here. I don't have any noise, otherwise I wouldn't be able to hear you. But it sounds fine. It sounds good, Jeff. Over.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I just actually making a video as we're talking, Bob, so you're going to be famous. If it turns out, I'll post it on Onder's site, his Vk3Amp site. I was just trying to do a quick demonstration of how well it works on AM, but damn, the band is crappy. I'm hearing every word you say, not having to read any lips or anything, but obviously the fidelity's not there, and it's just, yeah, I guess it's broken band. I think today, I kind of decided my schedule for today. Yesterday I did go out, Bob, and I cut down, I think, 5 different trees that were trying to violate the 160 meter dipole, one leg of it. And I cut them down, but I was too tired to pick up the mess, and it is one hell of a mess out there. And it actually did take down the dipole, and so the dipole's the cable's just laying on the ground. I wound it up into a pile. And yeah, I got to go out there and clean the mess up. But I think that's what I'm going to try to do today. We got a pretty decent day, 35 degrees Fahrenheit, and so kind of partly cloudy to partly sunny skies. So that's what's going on here, Bob. I won't punish you. I won't hold it very long if it's crappy. And I wonder to know if you've talked to Kevin and how he's doing on his computer. If you can still hear me. WB9ECK, this is N8RWS.
Yeah, he actually came up that time, Jeff. N8RWS, WB9ECK. The band actually came up, but I don't think it's going to stay that way. It is, lately, when it turns off, it just like somebody threw a switch. It just goes dead. So, but I haven't heard Kevin today. I spent most of the morning on, I was on 160 for a little bit, and then I was on 3630 for the brunt of the morning, yakking with the 3630 group, ESSB, and yeah, I've been just kind of poking around. I saw you come up on the pan adapter, so I zipped up here real quick. I was looking further on down the dial, but sure love you having the pan adapter. Seeing your station come up, and I go, oh, somebody's on 3870 AM, so sure makes it handy. But I was driving my farm tractor yesterday. The first time I fired it up here this spring. My 1951 Alice Chalmers that was froze up on me last year. And man, it's just running like a dream. I can't believe it, Jeff. It's just got gobs and gobs of power like it never had before. So the whole thing's sort of a blessing in disguise. It made me, give it a facelift. It got a major facelift, let's put it that way. So just running, just strong, cast iron strong. So I was grading my driveway, it's all dirt, mud driveway. So I was grading that yesterday. I ran around on that for a little over an hour. I'd forgotten, all my other vehicles, my garden tractor, and all my regular vehicles all have power steering. And of course, the 1951 Alice Chalmers that doesn't have power steering. I'd forgotten just how hard it is to crank on a steering wheel. I worked up a pretty good upper body sweat when I came back in the house here. I was just wringing wet from sweat from stirring that thing around. But I got a blade on the back of it, and which is really good for grading, for road grading. And I got rid of a whole bunch of ruts and potholes that had been accumulating in the driveway there for the last couple of years. N8RWS, WB9ECK.
Alrighty, good deal, Bob. Yeah, that's neat. That's that is the tractor, if I'm remembering correctly, that you did the cylinder head replacement because it was outdoors and water went down the exhaust, right? That was cool. That story about how you use a ladder and some contraption on the ladder to make it so that you could lift that heavy cylinder head off that thing. Yeah, good deal. Well, that's good you got it out and gave it a workaround and a workout. Man, I wish I had a tractor, Bob, because these trees I dropped are big. And man, they're a pain to move. Oh my God, there's branches everywhere, and it's just so tough. I got to go out there with a small chainsaw and just take and fiddle around with them and cut them. Just cut these damn branches. We got these vines out here that attack the trees and try to kill them, and they're successful. They actually do. They ruin the tree, man. They take and grab the branches at the top and just kind of cinch the tree down so that it breaks in half and causes a mess. I still don't know how they attack that 160 meter dipole, because I swear that dipole's taller than the trees were, and but somehow they jump up. I think when they break, they jump up, man. They say I'm going to attack that dipole. But you mentioned me talking on 160 meter gives me more of a motivation. I wasn't sure if I was going to go mess around with it anymore today, because I wore myself out yesterday cutting the trees down. But I think I'm gonna. I think I got enough motivation. It's gonna be a pretty nice day, so I'm gonna go out there and do some more cutting. And I'm thinking, since that dipole's been laying down, it's a really good material I use for the dipole. I wish I could remember the name of it. But it's quite thick and it's braided. It's not copper. It's braided something. And man, it's been up there 22 years. And it looked really good until I went out and it dropped, right? It fell down, and I think the critters are trying to eat it or something, because there's fray areas now along the thing. Now maybe it's just wearing out because it's been up so long, but it has a lot of fray, and so I'm almost thinking before I'm back on 160, I'm going to have to buy some more of that. That cable, whatever it is, it's very flex weave, I think it's called, and it's just fantastic. But this is just running out of its life, its useful life, or the critters got at it. I've got just one leg came down. The other leg is in an area where there's not a lot of trees, and it's been up there and it's never fallen down. But I wonder if it's just as screwed up and frayed, because if so, I ought to fix it before it does come down, because it'll be a hassle to do it, if I don't have a nice chaser lead on the long end of it, to help me get it back up there, because that's on the top of my tower, which isn't that tall, 50 feet, but it's still a pain in the ass, I guess. So I don't know how long I've been transmitting, but I'm at 49C on the temp. And again, I'm running a carrier of 200, so that's what's going on here, Bob. I'll toss it back to you and see how the band is holding up. WB9ECK this year is N8RWS.
Yeah, fine business, old man. Fine business. You betcha. That sounds great. N8RWS, WB9ECK. So you got that baby purring like a kitten there, Jeff. So you can be proud of that. You got a solid state rig that sounds as good or better than most of the tube rigs out there. Nice and clean, no hums, no buzzes. Fully modulated carrier. No carrier shift. Your carrier is good and solid. So you got it playing like it's supposed to be.